In January of 2013, Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada, embarked on a solo trip to California. She had planned it carefully, taking a break from school to explore new places, seeking adventure and escape from the pressures of her daily life. Elisa was a bright and thoughtful young woman who often expressed her emotions online. She kept a Tumblr blog where she wrote about her struggles, her dreams, and her experiences with bipolar disorder. Some days, she was optimistic, excited about her journey. Other days, her posts hinted at loneliness, sadness, and inner turmoil. Her family worried. They weren't comfortable with her traveling alone, but she reassured them. Every day she checked in. Every day she let them know she was safe. Until she didn't. On January 31st, 2013, Elisa Lam vanished without a trace. The Cecil Hotel, where Elisa had chosen to stay, was a historic but infamous building in downtown Los Angeles. Built in the 1920s, it was originally meant to be a luxury hotel, but by the late 20th century, it had become something else entirely, a place of death, a place where people jumped to their deaths, where unsolved murders occurred, and where serial killers once called home. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, had lived there in the 1980s, leaving behind a trail of brutal murders across Los Angeles. Jack Unterweger, another serial killer, also stayed at the Cecil, luring victims to their deaths. There were countless suicides, drug overdoses, and mysterious disappearances. Locals believed the hotel was cursed. Something about it invited tragedy, drawing in people who were already on the edge, and now Elisa Lam was missing inside it. Weeks passed. The police searched her room, questioned guests, and checked security footage. And then they released the last known video of Elisa Lam, the elevator footage. It was unsettling. In the grainy, flickering footage, Elisa steps into the elevator and presses multiple buttons, but the doors do not close. She waits, looks around, peeks outside. Is someone there? She suddenly flattens herself against the wall as if hiding from something unseen. Then she steps out into the hallway and starts moving strangely. Her arms wave in odd, jerky motions. Her fingers twist and curl as though she's communicating with something invisible. She moves in and out of the elevator, seemingly anxious and erratic. Then, finally, she walks away and vanishes. The elevator doors close moments after she leaves. It was the last time she was seen alive. For weeks, there was no sign of Elisa, no calls, no credit card usage, no activity at all. Then guests at the Cecil Hotel started complaining about the water. It tasted bad. It had a strange odor. It sometimes came out of the tap, black. On February 19th, 2013, a maintenance worker went to check the water tanks on the hotel's rooftop. He climbed up, lifted the heavy lid, and looked inside, and froze in horror. Floating inside the dark, stagnant water was Elisa Lam's decomposing body. She was naked, her clothes sinking beside her. Her phone was gone. The heavy lid of the tank was open, a troubling detail because it was too heavy for a single person to lift from the inside. The discovery led to more questions than answers. How did Elisa get to the rooftop? The door to the roof was locked and alarmed. Only employees had the key. If she had broken in, the alarm would have sounded. How did she get into the water tank? The tanks were large, elevated, and difficult to climb. The opening was small, and the lid was too heavy to close from the inside. Why was she naked? There were no signs of struggle or trauma, and her toxicology report showed no drugs or alcohol in her system. Her cause of death was officially ruled an accidental drowning, but no one could explain how or why she ended up in the water tank. And then, the strangest connection of all emerged. Just days after Elisa's body was found, there was a tuberculosis outbreak in Los Angeles. The name of the test used to detect tuberculosis? Lam Elisa. That was the official medical name of the test. The same exact name as Elisa Lam. People began to speculate, was Elisa's death somehow linked to something larger? A cover-up? A hidden experiment? Theories ran wild, but nothing was ever confirmed. To this day, no one knows for sure what happened to Elisa Lam. There are theories, but none are completely satisfying. Number 1. A mental health episode. Elisa had bipolar disorder and had struggled with depression. Some believe she was experiencing a manic episode, which led her to wander onto the roof and enter the tank herself. But this doesn't explain how she got past the locked doors, how she lifted the heavy lid, or why she was acting so strangely in the elevator footage. 2. Foul play. Some believe she was murdered, perhaps by someone working at the hotel, someone who had access to the roof and the tanks. But there was no evidence of struggle, no physical trauma, and no suspects. 3. The Cecil Hotel's dark influence. Many believe that something dark lurks in the Cecil Hotel. Guests have reported seeing shadowy figures, hearing whispers, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread inside the building. Could Elisa have been influenced by something supernatural? 10 years later, the case of Elisa Lam remains one of the most chilling and puzzling unsolved mysteries of modern times. The Cecil Hotel has since been rebranded and closed off to long-term guests, but the dark legend of the building persists. And the final moments of Elisa Lam, trapped forever in that eerie elevator footage, continue to haunt those who dare to watch. Because no matter what you believe, one thing remains true. Something about her death doesn't add up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let me know what you think or suggest a story you'd like me to cover next. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Stay curious, stay intrigued, and I'll see you in the next one.